So I guess it was a very heavy lunch. So all of you guys at the back are just sitting out there to just get some rest. Come up front. There's few of us out here, so do come up front if you have the guts to. I won't call you out. I won't give you a hard time. Anyway, happy to be here with you guys at the AWS Summit, and we'll continue the conversation that Couple started to talk to you a little bit more about how AWS and Intel has collaborated and bringing innovations out to you guys as customers as well as developers in the field of artificial intelligence. With us in the industry, what we've recognized time and time again is when you have a technology that is easily consumable, easily acceptable, and the barriers of its consumption, when they are low, this gives a rise to a crazy amount of demand. And through that increase in demand, this gives rise to various business models, various usage models, and obviously a lot of opportunity. Cloud computing is the fundamental enabler for these types of technologies and opportunities, and AWS continues to extend the curve of what really is possible. Something that also comes about when you're dealing with such technologies is data. And let's talk about data for a minute. And if you look at my slide at the back, let's talk about people's devices, like PCs, laptops, your smartphones. In the year 2020, we have a survey that says that we'll have over 50 billion devices and 200 billion sensors connected over the internet. And about 40% of these devices will communicate with each other only via machines. This basically gives you an idea of the type of data we're looking at. This amazing deluge of data will require interpretation and the right type of analyses. And that is only possible with what Intel has to offer you. For that, we have three things. Let's start with the first one, performance. Let's talk about the second thing that Intel has to offer, help you better interpret the data that you have available. Performance. And the number three thing that's really important for helping you analyze this data, especially for artificial intelligence. Any guesses? Let's turn it up a notch, extreme performance. And that's what Intel's promise is over here. And we, as you know, the innovators and solution architects and developers and data scientists, we are at the advent of actually enjoying the happy marriage of the deluge of data with the extreme performance with AWS and Intel together. There's a Forrester research survey that shows about 58% of professionals and scientists are researching AI as we speak today. But only about 12% have actually implemented AI solutions. This is because we can't keep up with the deluge of data that I was talking to earlier. But we do see the gaps reducing because with the innovations coming in from software, which are driven by the enterprise, we start to see better services, better goods and services, and better consumer behavior going in, and a lot of disruptive models that are going to drive the industry towards the advent of artificial intelligence. We've recognized the business imperative of artificial intelligence. Let's talk a little bit about the various approaches that you could take for AI if you are a data scientist or a developer, and demystify the myth of AI being severely disgusting and hard to adopt. Let's start with cognitive reasoning. When you have to detect a lot of similarities as well as a lot of anomalies in a disparate sea of data, you apply cognitive reasoning into your environment. And this is very common in FSI type segments and workloads like credit card detection, anti-money laundering, as well as predictive maintenance. The most commonly used approach is machine learning. And this is basically used with statistical and programmatic algorithms which help you work with problem statements that can be reverse engineered. So this is very common for regression, for anomaly detection, as well as feature extraction. The one that's actually starting to get a little popular and probably something that everybody gets really afraid of is deep learning. When you deal with different problem statements that aren't able to be reverse engineered, you start to apply deep learning into your environments. Examples of these would be image recognition, text-to-speech recognition, natural language processing, and what have you. And there are various other approaches of how you can demystify AI within your environments, but these are the ones that Intel thinks would be tangible methods for you to apply it within your environment. Now that we've actually talked about the business imperatives and the various approaches you could take so that you as data scientists and developers start to see how you can build this into your systems, let's talk about the solution stack that Intel has to offer for an AI system within your organization. And I'll touch on each of these layer by layer. Let's start with what we're built for, which is our technology and our hardware. Intel has a comprehensive product portfolio that spans data center to storage and memory all the way to the edge. And as Kapil mentioned, Xeon is a very scalable processor, which will help you adopt AI within your environments and use those workloads for better machine learning, deep learning within your environments. As Kapil also mentioned, Intel has made significant investments into software. And it is the #3 company that is investing in software across the world, and that's something not a lot of people know. The additional layers that you will see behind me outside of our technology are basically based on all the investments that we've done, especially in the field of artificial intelligence. We've acquired a lot of software-based industries like Nirvana, Movidius, Saffron, Mobileye, to really help drive innovation within this technology. Intel also has a set of software development tools that really help applications and application developers like you get better optimization from the applications that are running on Intel's architecture. And that's where the libraries come in. Outside of the regular suite of tools that we have for application development, specifically for machine learning and deep learning, we have the mathematical math kernel libraries, which are the mathematical functions that are built-in optimization for Intel's architecture. We have the deep neural networks component for MKL that help you with neural network processing. We also have the DAL, which is the Data Analytics Accelerator library that help you with your machine learning pipeline. How many of you work on Python? Okay. How many of you knew that Intel has its very own distribution of Python? Now you do. So Intel also did run its optimizations to have our very own distribution of Python. So when you're working on deep learning and machine learning, you get the peak performance that Intel has to offer when you're working on your CPUs. Outside of the libraries, let's move one step forward on the framework side. Intel has optimized all the most popular frameworks and also made that available for you guys when you're working on deep learning and machine learning for optimized architecture. So if you went to GitHub and looked at Intel Cafe, or since you guys are at the AWS Summit, you're probably working on MXNet. If you went to GitHub and looked up the Intel MXNet, you'll be able to get the optimized framework for your architecture. We've also done significant innovations with BigDL and Neon, and I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. The additional layer that makes sure that you get the experience of the AI innovation cycle are the tools that we have that are a set of productivity tools, like the computer vision SDK. So when you're working on smart city type of initiatives and you've got a computer vision algorithm going, you could use our CV SDK. When you're looking at inference on the edge, you could look at the Movidius SDK. To make sure you guys as developers and data scientists really get to experience this portfolio of products and services that we have, we also have platforms that are set up for you to get that, which is the AI Dev Cloud or the Deep Learning Cloud or the Saffron Reasoning Systems. But what we really want to do along with you and AWS is to make sure that you can build the right type of solutions that use and utilize these tangible products and services with the help of our data scientists, with our team of technical services, as well as our reference solutions to help you with your journey on AI, all the way from data to actual insight. As Kapil mentioned, from these technologies, while we're working with AWS to have all of these available, the C5 as well as the M5 instance already has a Xeon Scalable processor families as well as BigDL, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit more. So the Xeon processor scalable family, which is the latest architecture that we announced early or mid of last year, is provides you scalable performance on a wide variety of workloads that are also for AI as well as deep learning. So in a bottom line, you don't need to go and do AI outside of the infrastructure that you have on your general purpose CPU. You can run deep learning. See, that's groundbreaking because the other guys are also clapping for it. You can run deep learning and machine learning on your existing general purpose CPU infrastructure. This helps you save time. This obviously helps you save money, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel because you can insert your data stream into your existing data application algorithms. And so this makes life so much easier for a lot of people. It also provides you the promise of potent performance. That's something that Intel's been, that's our bread and butter, of helping you reduce the deep learning training time from days into hours, and also help you get performance benefit to about 113x, which is really significant. So I would urge you, if you could go and test out, as Kapil also mentioned, go and test out the Xeon Scalable processor on the C5 and the M5 instances on AWS. You'll be able to get started on your AI today. The other solution that's really been grabbing a lot of traction with customers is BigDL. BigDL is it really is used by scientists and framework developers that really want to start high performance deep learning for free on their existing CPU infrastructure. It's basically a distributed deep learning library that is built for Spark, that sits on your Spark or your Apache Hadoop cluster with support for Python as well as Scala programming models. And we've started to see great performance benefits coming out of it because we are significantly investing in the optimizations on it. So if you look at that, by leveraging low precision and quantization using the C5 instances, BigDL 03.0 workloads have helped achieve a 4x reduction in model size and a 2x improvement in inference speeds. And we actually have a great demo of this at the Intel booth, so go out there and check it out. But especially for you guys with distributed computing, BigDL is the way to go, and you wouldn't need a lot and reinvent the wheel to make sure you can start to apply deep learning into your environment. Now that we've talked about AI, Intel's AI portfolio and the services and the technology you could get access to, let's talk a little bit about the actual applications. And we have a lot of case studies, but we thought we'd bring to you two that seemed fairly significant. This one's in the healthcare space. We worked with a 3D medical imaging device manufacturer that was dealing with the challenge of accuracy of tumor detection. What we did is we told them, with the restraints that they had on the GPU, we told them build a lot of more infrastructure and memory onto your CPU and work with the BigDL inference and see what you get. And the result was amazing. We got an 11x% speed up in performance and reduced the brain tumor detect time from hours into minutes. Groundbreaking and literally life-changing. The other segment that we'd like to also call out, which is a very early adopter of AI, is finance. we worked with a very world-leading payment processing and credit card company who was having a problem with predictive maintenance and behavior prediction. They couldn't scale out within their existing infrastructure and build better training times across the thousands of merchants and millions of customers. With 2 instances of BigDL on the C5, we managed to get over 50% higher precision and 18% better recall, which made that company a lot more productive, competitive, and very valuable to their customers. Outside of the work that we're doing with our partners, system integrators, ISVs, and our customers, we're also investing into skills development for data scientists, developers with the Intel AI Academy. So if you went to software.intel.com/AI, that will give you an opportunity to sign up for the Intel AI Academy, which will help you learn, which will help you develop, get access to our dev cloud, also get you access to the webinars and the sessions that we have to get you better on AI, as well as give you an opportunity to share your experiences with us. Another program that we also are working with AWS on is to build academic skills with faculty development programs and run hackathons that the AWS Educate team is spearheading. So that's also something that we're trying to do to get you guys more and more acquainted with how you can do machine learning and deep learning on your existing CPU infrastructure. And to sum up, and it's shocking that I actually made time, Kapil, let's talk about making sure that we learn. So, like I mentioned, I'm sure a lot of you guys had an aha moment of how you could actually apply AI within your existing infrastructure. Learn more about it in ai.intel.com, or keep attending these types of forums that AWS and Intel hosts across all the cities. Explore the instances on C5 and M5 with the Xeon Scalable family. Engage with us. We have a booth out there. We're also out here, and obviously you have a lot of your AWS representatives. Let's talk to each other about some possible POC opportunities to grow the community together. And I'd like to leave you with one thought. AI isn't difficult. It's not a boom. It's something that needs to be implemented today. If it's smart and it's connected and it requires AI, it works best on Amazon, and it's always powered by Intel. Thank you.